115 laps to make those passes in, as it's Rob Haynes and Scott Patton at the front of the field, and the green flag is out at Dover. The early advantage for Haynes, top three single file, Hamby and side by side for fourth.
Hamby does a good job carrying the momentum around the outside. He'll get past Howell.
Here is Scott Patton now looking for the race lead underneath Rob Haynes. And Rob just going to let him have it here. New leader Scott Patton on lap number 15. But there's a... Wow! That was a great save by Howell. So that's 2 black flags and 3 crashes just on that pit cycle alone.
Ashton Crowder has assumed the lead here. Crowder came into pit all the way back on lap 32. Oh, Schulte trying to get down a pit road. He is really sending it.
Oh, way over speed, black flag. Yep.
No.
He had it at about 50 miles an hour across the line, so that is not going to work.
Really send it in there and fight for the win, but... Oh, Justin Michael with the problem as well. He tries to get on pit road, and he slides it. He doesn't even get onto pit road. He's just slow on the bottom of the racetrack.
After 17 cautions last week at Martinsville, we're going flag to flag here tonight. And it's checkers again for Ashton Crowder, win number 10 on the season. A decade of dominance, and well-timed at that. The championship battle is on for Las Vegas. After over 5 years of inactivity, the first maximum velocity sanctioned race took place here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on June 29th. 22 weeks later, and about to be 20 races later, we are back at Las Vegas to close out the revival season of maximum velocity. A champion will be crowned here tonight after 110 laps. The maximum velocity season finale from Las Vegas Motor Speedway is around the turn on turn 200.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. Back under the lights here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is ending where it started here in 2023 on turn 200. Max V, the practice race 2 weeks before the 20-week schedule was here at Las Vegas. This is where we're finishing things off here for the season in the championship fight scheduled to be here tonight. Matt Williamson is here. My name is Tommy Cook. And we'll pull up the points for you, and we won't bury the lead, Matt. We'll give you the big headline reveal here.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the points. And what you were mentioning is we were expecting to possibly have a showdown for the championship here between Andrew Schulte and Ashton Crowder. Schulte would have to finish, I believe it was 9th, to secure that championship. But the big news is Ashton Crowder will not be racing here tonight. Had prior obligations. So the title belongs to Andrew Schulte here in 2023, the return season for Maximum Velocity Racing. So a big congratulations early on here, but there will be some other drivers still battling throughout the field for positions here in the championship. You see a few of the closer battles here. Justin Michael, Brad Slagle there for 4th. Scott Patton, I think, could get ahead of Ashton Crowder here tonight with a good race. Greg Mall, Milfelt, Johnny Hamby, Charlie Widener, and Will Kirk are really all somewhat close together. So battles throughout the top 10 in points are still things to watch here tonight.
For sure. And as things wrap up here in 2023, we look ahead to 2024, and some exciting plans have been handed to us from on high. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at a very exciting schedule for 2024 for Maximum Velocity Racing League.
Here it is, the big reveal. This is the 2024 schedule for Maximum Velocity Racing. Thursday nights, this is the Truck Series. Basically, we'll be running almost the full Cup schedule. But there's a couple of races that are switched out for other tracks. One of the most notable is IRP rather than the big oval there at Indianapolis. And then I believe Milwaukee instead of the Roval, the Charlotte Roval. Those are the two, I believe, that were switched out. Otherwise, everything's pretty much going to follow the Cup schedule as we go through the season, which will be pretty interesting, getting to see the virtual track right near the real-life races. I always enjoy that, getting to go from real life right onto the virtual surface and see how the races play out.
Yes, indeed. That's, I mean, it's going to be a grueling schedule next season, no doubt. 36 races plus an all-star race at a track to be announced, and that's not even a wink and a nod. I genuinely have no idea where they're planning on having the all-star race. I don't know if they know yet, but regardless, a couple of track switch outs. Sad to not see Indianapolis on the calendar. But always excited to get the Milwaukee Mile on the channel here. Always excited for truck road course racing. I believe that will be, unless we run it somewhere else first, the Turn 200 debut of Circuit of the Americas. So that is exciting to get Coda on the channel. And yes, this is a good group, and they will be in for the long haul next season with the first ever appearance of a playoff system on the channel. So exciting stuff here for 2024, and we're going to talk to one guy who has helped to make it all possible. If he is hanging around, at least we'll go ahead and pull in James Lehman and see if we can get a quick word with one of the league proprietors here. What's happening?
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going all right. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen you here, but regardless, it's exciting to have you back on the track here tonight, and excited to get you back up in your in the booth, especially since we just revealed the schedule for 2024. I bet everybody's pretty excited about next season already.
Yeah, you know, it's been in the works for the last couple months on what we were going to do, and I'm just glad that we all came to an agreement to run a full 36-week schedule next year, and especially having you guys come on board to be the full-time broadcaster for the series is a really big one too. So looking forward to it. We also have a couple other things we're running next year. We're going to run on a Tuesday night a Cup series that's going to run just the Cup series all year, and then on Wednesday nights Johnny Hamby himself is going to be starting up a road series, so that should should be fun. So now here at Max Velocity, we're gonna have 3 nights of racing.
How about that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I do believe with prior commitments, we'll only be here on Thursday nights, but
Yep.
I will keep everybody well informed on where they can catch the rest of Max V action the rest of the week, because I'm sure it's not to be missed. If you're not going to be out on the track, you're certainly going to want to watch it. But it's the season's wrapping up here. And you've got to be here for most of it anyway, and the weeks that you haven't been here, you've been watching at least. So with 20 weeks in the books, what do we make of the revival season here for Max V?
In my opinion, I think it was a very good success on bringing back Max Velocity. Is exactly what I've wanted to have, on average of 20 people per race, and as of right now, we've had an average of 25. And then just having a bunch of good competitive racing. You know, I know we had a couple weeks there where it was rough, but it all worked itself out, and now it's good racing, you know, and good group of guys. And yeah, honestly, I'm just very, very happy and very proud of how the league turned out.
It's very rare that you get a high strength of field and quality racing, and that has been Max V to a T here in 2023. Matt, do you have anything you want to ask or say to James here before we move along?
Well, I mean, just thanks for having us along for the ride. It's certainly been a pleasure, and I couldn't agree more. It's been a fantastic 20 weeks, and really looking forward to that full schedule there in 2024. Kind of what was the thought process in making that 2024 schedule? What were was there any other alternate plans you'd like to share with us?
There was a couple. You know, one of the plans was doing what Max Velocity did in the past, and was do a race every 2 weeks. And that was something Carrie brought up, but Carrie was like, you know what, it's your league, you do how you want to do it. And then I really wanted to run just like a full season of the trucks, but I honestly wanted to run it like in the cup size schedule and have the playoff systems and all that. And it took some convincing, you know, of the other admins to like, hey, we need to keep the trucks on Thursday nights. And one of the biggest people that helped push for that was Carrie. Carrie flat out said, he's like, if there's one thing you're going to keep, it's trucks on Thursday nights, because that's Max B. And so that shut everybody up, even myself, and was like, all right, we're going to listen to the old boss, and that's what we're going to go with, you know. And he's the man that really started this years ago, and I'm glad that he's here, and I'm glad that he gave me the chance to do that and to bring it back. And then, you know, because we were going to do the cups on Thursday, you know, because, you know, everybody thinks the cup is the premier league, premier class of a league, but in my opinion, in Max B, it's the trucks, and it will always be the trucks.
Oh, the truck is so much fun here on iRacing, and when you get a bunch of wheelmen all together, it makes it just that much more fun. So we'll let you get to qualifying here in just a few seconds, but appreciate the time here tonight. Appreciate all the effort that you put in throughout the season, not just for you, but also to Carrie, Justin, and Scott, and anybody else that put a little elbow grease into Max V here this season. Under your tutelage, of course, but appreciate everything that you do, and looking forward to 2024, and here's to 2023.
Thank you, Tom.
That is James Lehman, and just like that, it's time for the final quali session of 2023 for Maximum Velocity. It's not our final qualifying session of the channel here this year, but this is the final Max V truck race, to see if maybe we can get a word in with Scott Patton towards the end of the night here. Although he's on a bit of a podium streak right now, he may not have a problem finding his way onto the podium at the end of the night. Potentially exciting plans very soon. But for now, 5-minute, 3-lap qualifying as per the norm here.
And drivers on their out laps, a few of them already out on track here. Johnny Hamby, Justin Michael, Rod Mitten, Matt Radalasso all out on their out laps already. 3 laps here, and under the lights at Las Vegas, a lot of grip in this track. You can pretty much hold this sucker wide open here on the qualifying session.
We went caution-free last week at Dover. And outside of the road courses, of course. I believe the only other caution-free race that we've run under Max V has been the practice race at Las Vegas, which doesn't count as a points race, of course, but maybe we can end it on a hot streak of 2 in a row to close out the season.
Here's Johnny Hamby completing his first lap. He's going to jump to the top of the board. Only a couple times in so far.
30.78. Top time in practice belonged to Justin Michael. It was a 33.03. And top of the board now for Rod Mitten. Time's looking to be, at least on the first lap, a couple of tenths down from practice times. There's Johnny Hamby back to the top, 30.72. Patrick Blundell is here tonight. Blundell fourth quickest as Rod Mitten now goes back up to the top. And now Justin Michael, 30.60.
Here's a look at your 2023 champion, Andrew Schulte. And on the final lap he's going to put in, he jumps up to second.
We were talking to Ashton Crowder a little bit earlier, and Andrew Schulte just happened to pop in. It was interesting to hear their back and forth and being humble about who is the better race car driver. And they were both nominating each other and not themselves. So
yeah, they were certainly trying to out-humble themselves.
Yes. But Ashton rather said something to the tune of, well, Andrew is going to win this off of consistency, which is more impressive than having 10 wins like Ashton has. And Andrew Schulte, again, no wins this season, but just an ungodly amount of podiums. He had something like 6 in a row before last week at Dover, and more on top of that throughout the course of the season. Like 4 finishes outside the top 5 all season long. I mean, Andrew Schulte, there's a championship is a championship. It doesn't matter if you Kyle Larson or Matt Kenseth your way into the title. A championship is a championship.
Certainly is, and then you have to hope that the sanctioning body doesn't move the goalposts on you.
Oh, by putting the playoffs in for 2024?
Exactly.
Well, James Lehman there with under a minute to go. Just jumped up to second.
Yeah, waited quite a while to get out on track and start taking times, but yeah, great qualifying effort for Lehman. And it's his return. He hasn't been on track for, I think, 2 or 3 races at this point. So it's a bit of a return here for James Lehman to action. And he's starting it off the right way with a good qualifying effort.
Scott Patton put in 2 laps already. He's leaving pit road. He's not going to make it back in time to post another lap. So maybe just getting a feel for the track conditions here. As with 17 seconds left to go, I've already see that we've already got our regulars hanging out with us, Michelle Kirk and Martha Turheimer. Hello to both of you. Hello to anybody else that is watching out here in Turn 200 land. Excited to see what Will Kirk can do here tonight back at the field. And oddly enough, Wally Turheimer is right behind him in the 5th position. But now we'll get you the starting lineup here for the season finale. Max V draws to a close in 2023 with 110 laps around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And Justin Michael will snag the pole here for the final time this season. James Lehman on the outside of the front row. The champion now officially, as Ashton Crowder has not appeared. Andrew Schulte has locked up the title. He starts in 3rd, looking for a win to cap off his championship run. Will Kirk looking for some better luck than he's had in his last few starts. He lines up in 4th. Talladega winner Wally Turheimer will round out your top 5 starters. Rod Mitten is back here tonight. He starts in 6th. Johnny Hamby, Kerry Cleaver on row number 4. Good starting spot here for Kerry in 8th. Michael Milfeld Jr. at ninth. Matt Rodolasso also back here tonight. He rounds out your top 10. Scott Patton down in the 11th. Some work to do if he wants to end his season with another podium. Chris Boyles down at 12th. Charlie Widener and Patrick Blundell, the final driver to post a time here in 14th. Heath Smith will line up in 15th. Mick McGuire is in 16th. Bill Paradise and Brad Slagle 17th and 18th. And Ryan McRoberts, the final driver to take to the grid, 19, to close out the season in Las Vegas for 110 laps. Matt Williamson, some strategy, some weather, some championship accoutrement.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the track conditions, and very similar to what we had last night in ASRL race at Kansas on the road course. Very cool here in the nighttime. 69 degrees is the track temperature, so that'll make it very grippy for the drivers here, but also got to be a little wary on cold tires to start this race. We have 110 laps around Las Vegas here tonight. 3 extra sets of tires. The fuel window is about 50 laps, so we're looking at probably a 2-stopper here. And there are no fast repairs, as always, here in the Maximum Velocity Racing League. And you mentioned it, Andrew Schulte has already wrapped up that series championship, but many of the drivers left in the field fighting for top 5 in the points to end the season. And it's almost go time.
Greg Mawley is not here tonight, so it'll be Brad Slagle versus Justin Michael for 4th in the championship. I think Scott Patton is going to be just a couple points outside of being able to move up to 2nd. But that's not going to stop him from marching his way up through the field, I don't think.
No, most certainly not. I mean, there's a lot of drivers. Las Vegas is an interesting track, though, because the first 10 to 15 laps here is going to be kind of wide open, almost pack-style racing, and then you'll figure out who's able to save tire and who's not, and then it kind of gets more spread out. But to begin the race here, everybody's going to be pretty much together.
That is what we saw at Las Vegas for the practice race. And where it started, it will finish in 2023 here on Turn 200. Maximum Velocity Racing League for the final time this year is headed to the start zone. Justin Michael and James Lehman leading the charge.
Whoa! Justin Michael tries to block that top line in Lehman, but Lehman had a pretty good run there. Down the backstretch,
Whoa.
There's problems.
Kerry Cleaver up into the wall. Oh, one more driver. That's Bill Paradise is down in the grass through the tri-oval. Everybody getting loose. Charlie Widener awfully loose there.
Didn't quite see the incident in its entirety, but looked kind of like a strange moment. I have to go back and take a look at it when we get a chance. Everybody else continues here.
Cold tires on a cold track. It happened lap 1 here in the practice race as well. But again, no caution. As the top 5, a bit of separation back to Johnny Hamby in 6th.
And we're still seeing the effects of this cold track with the cold tires. Turheimer, they're off of 4 as we're going 3 wide down into turn 1. Turheimer lost the nose a little bit. Had to check up. We see a lot of drivers with wiggles here on the exits of the corners.
Schulte in the lead, but under fire now from James Lehman. Lehman on the bottom. Lehman clear by an inch or 2. Puts a squeeze on Schulte now, who has Wally Turheimer underneath with help from Will Kirk. Matt Rodolasso put up the purple lap from 10th. And now the 2 packs have combined up at the front. Turheimer to 2nd. Kirk and Schulte battling side by side for 3rd. Justin Michael back in 5th. With Michael Milfeld Jr. underneath him.
And we've seen Lehman with great short run speed in almost all of the oval races this season. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep that up or if somebody in the middle of the pack is really just hanging out, waiting for everybody to burn some tires up, and then come swinging there later on in the run.
Lehman trying to protect both lanes here early in the going. Will Kirk is now to outright second. Sturheimer fading a bit on the outside.
Matt Burkhardt in the chat cheering on the Bandit Motorsports teammates and congratulating Andrew on a great season.
Ooh.
That was close between Kirk and Lehman. Kirk with a great run here.
Patton and Widener almost made contact further back in the pack as well. As here is William Kirk underneath of James Lehman trying to take the top spot away. Milfelt under Turheimer for third. Kirk clear to the lead.
Both Kirk and Milfelt with big moves early on here. Both of them up 3 and 6 spots respectively. Wow, Kirk's going to get himself maybe caught in the middle.
Woo!
That was close. Milfelt didn't want to give an inch, but didn't have much of a choice.
Schulte and Mitten doing a bit of bump drafting just outside of the top 5 to try and merge the two packs once again.
Here's a look inside the cockpit of Wally Turheimer in the 75, running this top line here. Currently sits in 4th or 5th. He's battling here with Amby.
Amby all the way down to the apron and then back up right next to Turheimer here. Side by side for 2nd and 4th. So Michael in solo 6th right now may help Johnny Hamby along here on the bottom.
And you can hear just a little lift to the entry and then some flutters of the throttle through the middle of the corner if needed. But other than that, all out here for Turheimer in the 75 around the outside.
Definitely a lift there for Michael Milfelt Jr. as he is dropped back to 3rd, and now Wally Turheimer working him over here to try and take that 3rd spot away.
Wow, nearly 3 wide.
Woo!
Wow. That was Rod Mitten and Hamby. Mitten had to give Hamby some room there. Hamby almost got himself caught 3 wide in between Michael and Mitten.
Definitely some drivers punishing their tires early here. Justin Michael, not one of those. He is on his way back forward now as Kirk and Lehman continue to scrap away for the top spot. But Kirk now with some distance back to Lehman.
We're going to get near this 15-lap mark, and in my opinion, once you get to 15 laps, that's when we're going to start figuring out who has saved some tire and who hasn't.
It's so inviting to get up here and battle with all you've got. But you're right. About 15 laps into that run, you're going to think, oh, I've made a mistake. At least that's what happens to me whenever I come here. Some of these guys can battle and save, and that makes no sense to me. But Justin Michael doing the conscious thing, not really pushing it as hard. That's not just to keep himself out of an accident, which that will also do, but definitely save some tires.
Well, I'm looking back here at Schulte and Patton in 9th and 10th. Schulte was up front for just a few laps, and then he basically decided to kind of pull out, and I think it's a conscious effort to save tire along with Patton. We'll see what they have here as the run goes on. Lehman is now battling on the outside of Kirk. Here comes Justin Michael with a huge run down the front stretch.
Michael going to leave Lehman behind and try and get Will Kirk out in front. Once again, Kirk clear. Michael Milfeld will come to help Justin Michael's cause here on the bottom. That's Wally Turnheimer still up here in the top 5. Johnny Hamby, Matt Rodolasso, Scott Patton, Andrew Schulte, Rod Mitten. The rest of the top 10.
Will Kirk now starting to protect the top with Lehman on the advance. Justin Michael, he's going to sneak into the top as well.
And this is lap 15. This is when things are going to start to get a little spread out. You already see the beginning of that happening. Less double file, more single file, all on the same line, other than Will Kirk, who decided to take a dip down to the grass there. Now here's Michael pushing the issue up top.
Well, a difference you're going to see is early on in the runs, you're going to see drivers using the bottom and the middle. And as the run goes on, you're going to start seeing more the middle and then the top being used. Trying to use the momentum of the racetrack.
Wow! Scott Patton just fit his truck into a trunk-length gap between Milfeld and Rodolasso. And really upset the back of that pack.
Almost made some more contact with Rodolasso there. Schulte drifting up the racetrack just a little bit. Patton will be able to have the run. Maybe I'm wrong for right now. Driver's still utilizing the bottom here.
Yeah, that's all right. You being wrong just means that we get pack-style racing for a little bit longer here before it becomes a little bit more normal, but still exciting.
Well, one good thing is the track temperature is going to help these drivers being able to use that bottom a little bit more. Tires aren't going to get as hot. They're going to be able to have more grip there on the bottom throughout the night. But as you mentioned, starting to really get single file here, except for when drivers are attempting the lunges for passing.
It's a bit like horse racing to me. You need to push as hard as you think you need to get yourself in a good position for when things get spread out.
Well, that's just horse track racing.
My wife knows everything. The wife doesn't know.
The ultimate call.
Horse track racing is incredible. Too bad I don't know anything about it.
Are you sure they're going to have us back for 2024?
I don't think so. Not after this.
Here comes Johnny Hamby. He's going to look to the inside of Turnheimer here. Interested to see how these two lines play out.
Hamby walked it up the track there a bit, I think with help from the apron, but does a nice job not to pile into Wally's door.
Well, you just can't hold down the throttle like you could about 10 laps ago. The grip just doesn't stick those tires to the surface quite as well here 21 laps in.
Justin Michael's been searching around a bit up top, especially in 1 and 2. Getting good runs down the backstretch. James Lehman is inching his way back to becoming a problem for Will Kirk here. But these top 3 pulling away from Turnheimer and Hamby.
And part of Justin Michael's searching, like you mentioned, is going to be because of aero wash issues at high speeds. Just a little bit of dirty air can really affect you. As Rod Mitten made an aggressive pull off the wall to get underneath of Andrew Schulte here. Wow, close quarters between Patton and Turnheimer as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, just ahead of them, Wally Turnheimer had to roll out of the throttle not to pound the wall out of turn number 2, and that has cost him 2, now 3 positions as Patton is underneath and Schulte is looking.
And when the tires start to go, you want to stick to this top and try to let that momentum help you hang on to those positions. You see he goes to the bottom here again. But but he's not getting the runs off the bottom. I think Turheimer's going to have to stick to the top here.
But a dangerous game. You have to play being that close to the wall with some angry tires.
Well, that's what I was going to mention right before that battle started brewing is you're going to see drivers, not just because of the tires, but because of aero reasons, searching for a line to get out from behind the truck in front of them. Now, in other cars, it's worse than it is here in the trucks, but still affects the truck nonetheless.
Mitten and Turheimer side by side for 8th. Mitten trying to stay right down on the paint there. And if you're just joining us, the big headline of the night is no Ashton Crowder. That hands the championship to Andrew Schulte. The other big headline is the schedule reveal for 2024. We'll be running the trucks essentially with the Cup schedule with a couple of substitutions. But
and
that
we'll
is the announced one.
And we'll stay on Thursday nights.
Yes, it will stay on Thursday nights. Other Max V action will be taking place on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, it sounds like, throughout the year. That will not be on Turn 200, but Max V trucks for 2024 will. All 36 points-paying races and the All-Star race. So plan your Thursdays out to be here in 2024.
Starting to see some of the leaders try different lines here now as well.
We're seeing Scott Patton try something very different in pit here on lap 27.
Interesting indeed. Now, we have talked about the fuel strategy can probably go about 50 laps. Was going to have to be a two-stopper anyways, so Patton looking to get that one out of the way early. Maybe get himself out of lap traffic, or I guess just on traffic on the racetrack. Maybe
and
run some
more
laps
bitters
by himself.
Oh, Michael Milfeld Jr., black flag. For speeding.
Oh, and slams the inside wall as well.
Ooh. And that might be the end of the night for 155. Rod Minton, Wally Turheimer, and Matt Rodolasso all on pit road as well. Kerry Cleaver down with Scott Patton last time around.
That's an interesting move from Patton because I feel like normally Patton is on the complete other side of the strategy where he likes to stay out. Maybe usually as much as possible, but decides to switch it up. Maybe feels like he doesn't have a whole lot to lose here tonight.
Mick McGuire in the pits. And yes, Michael Milfeld has disconnected. We appreciate him racing here in 2023. He'll finish in the top 10 in points. Had a pretty nice season. Here is Justin Michael into pit road. That leaves the top two out all by themselves. Will Kirk still leading James Lehman. Johnny Hamby, Patrick Blundell, and Bill Paradise all down pit road this time as well. So I think only 7 drivers yet to pit, the top 7. Kirk is going low. Kirk is pitting from the lead.
Pretty good entry there.
Yep. Heath Smith in as well. And Chris Voiles. So that leaves Lehman, Schulte, Slagle, and McRoberts yet to get their service here. And Lehman pitting this time.
I'm interested to know if this is maybe a little bit earlier. Oh, and Lehman. Wow.
Big snap there.
Yeah, it looked like he had to get hard on the brakes right at the line. We'll have to ask in the post-race interviews. Interested to know if the goal or the strategy coming in was to make the first stint the shortest, or if some of the other drivers coming in force the hands of everybody else. As here comes 2023 champion as of tonight, Andrew Schulte as well.
And Brad Slagle and Ryan McRoberts. So cycle will be complete. James Lehman coming off pit road, and he will come out behind Scott Patton and Justin Michael. Scott Patton, with the earliest pit stop here, assumes the lead. Rod Mitten is going to come out in third, Lehman in fourth. And Lehman will have his hands full here with Johnny Hamby. Wilkirk came in as the leader, but he is back. What is that, in the 7th position here, 6th position?
Yeah, he's going to cycle out to 7th here.
Andrew Schulte coming out now as well. So earlier pit stops seemed to be the move. That's maybe the move going forward here.
Here's Scott Patton and Justin Michael battling for the lead now. You see the undercut for Patton has worked, at least for now. But must have been a great pit stop there for Patton, because Patton was, I think, outside of the top 5 when he came in.
Yes, he was. I think he was just inside the top 10.
And
he pit 3 laps earlier than Justin Michael here.
Yeah, he's leapfrogged all the way to the lead. Go ahead and go to the cockpit of Justin Michael while he tries to figure out how to work on the 46 of Patton.
Third on back is 2.25 seconds behind, and that gap has grown just a little bit. We'll see if they can make some steady progress here as the laps tick along.
Just a little blip of a lift. Not even really a lift. It's just taking it down to about 60% throttle for just a second rather than 100, and then right back on it early on here in the runs.
Personal best laps last time around for Will Kirk and James Lehman. Lehman working over Rod Mitten here. Will Kirk and Johnny Hamby all right here together. And they are about a 10th quicker than the top 2 right now. But still a bit of distance left to go for them to reel in the top 2. And they have to maintain that pace. And they have to not crash into one another.
Lots to think about here.
Been seeing more and more of Johnny Hamby of late, not just in Maximum Velocity, but he's running Formula Super Series on Monday nights. Ooh. He's getting awful flirtatious there with that apron.
He certainly is. It looked like he got a couple tires on the white line there.
Michael leading Patton. They are nose to tail here as they cross the line. Still checking the speeds.
Hamby's able to clear Rodolasso, so Hamby into the top 5 out right now.
These guys are still about a 10th and 3/4 up on the top 2, so they continue to close the gap. Don't quite have the 2-second draft range that you would at a super speedway. Inside a 1.5 seconds, 1.25, no problem. They don't have much to gain to get into that window.
No, and they're still putting time on him here slowly.
There's every chance that these two, Michael and Patton, are saving some tire.
Yeah, you certainly have to wonder. You know that Lehman and Kirk are probably pushing as hard as they can here. to try and catch up. But you're right, and you do have to wonder, these two teammates in the same chat room, you gotta wonder if
1.2
this is all
seconds.
planned.
Oh, and Patton really close to the wall there out of 2. Lehman and Kirk have done a nice job rallying the troops to get back up in contention for the lead here. Inside of a second now. And Scott Patton was the first driver to pit, I believe on lap 27.
Certainly was. It was on lap 27, so you got to think Patton's probably pretty content riding behind Michael here. If he can just stay in that lockstep with him until the next pit stop, that's probably his best effort that he can give right now.
Oh, Patton again. I think he did brush the wall that time. Giving it full beans here. As Anders Schultz is underneath Rod Minton right now, trying to get up to 6th. But Will Kirk, nice job. And James Lehman as well.
Yeah, these two have done what they need to do.
Here's the big run.
Oh,
Lehman
wow.
gonna sneak underneath.
Patton wants to protect the top here on a little bit older tire, hoping that Lehman's not able to clear, but is pretty easily.
No contest, and that does not bode well for Justin Michael. So despite the early pit stops, these two find themselves in trouble about halfway to 3/4 through the run. Oh, Michael now looks bottom. At least throws James Lehman off his rhythm a bit here. As Kirk underneath Patton now for 3rd. Lehman undeterred. Going to try the same move that got the job done on Scott Patton. Looks high to enter, low to exit. And a bump.
Oh!
Wow. Nearly disaster there.
Certainly contact with the outside wall for Justin Michael.
Yes, indeed. And lucky they both didn't go spinning there. That has allowed Will Kirk to close up to 2 truck lengths now, a truck length and a half. Up to James Lehman.
Now here comes Schulte and Hamby. They've dove underneath of Patton.
Yeah, Patton in a bit of trouble here, to say the least. Here's Lehman giving it another go. Again, gonna look high. And swing low down the backstretch. Third time might be the charm. Still has the ground underneath, but won't have his preferred entry into 1. Oh, wow.
What a fight here.
So close to the wall, and now time is running out for Lehman to make this move because Andrew Schulte is coming with a head of steam.
This is what happens when you get later on into these runs. It's so difficult to make that pass on the underneath. Lehman's gonna
so
send it.
Close. Almost clear.
I think he is for just a split second, but it's a gutsy move to drift your way up in front of your adversary in that position.
Justin Michael, stellar defense here. You wouldn't expect anything less. Schulte, I think, clipped the grass there through the tri-oval. That is how low he was. Oh, Lehman up the track a bit.
Ooh, these two are both starting to drift up the track a bit. Justin Michael looked like he was drifting up the racetrack more than he would have liked as well.
Oh, no. It's happening again. Download packet losses for 3 drivers all in a row. This happened in practice. We've seen this happen before at Atlanta in Truck 200. Will Kirk, Chris Voiles, Johnny Hamby have all been disconnected from the session.
Wow.
I've never seen it happen twice in a night before. That's bizarre. It's different people both times.
2 of them inside the top 5, too.
Yeah, Will Kirk was just behind Andrew Schulte here. Kerry Cleaver is gone now as well.
Wow. Unfortunate for the last race of the season to end like that for some of the drivers. That
definitely puts a damper on it.
Yeah. That just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, especially for those drivers in the top 5 having such a good run. Lehman still trying to work on Justin Michael here and just is not able to get the job done. He's had a lot of good looks at it.
And the momentum swinging back and forth so many times here.
And we've seen Andrew Schulte now come into the picture. Schulte's pushed really hard to get to this point. I don't think Schulte probably has anything to make a pass on either of them, but has gotten himself the track position he needed.
This would be the lap that Scott Patton pit on last time, and yep, just as I say that, Scott Patton down pit road. Charlie Widener follows him in this time.
And you see, leaving yourself a lot of laps to go here.
Well, there's always a chance that somebody didn't do the fuel numbers correctly.
Well, I don't mean because of the fuel numbers. I just mean with the tires. That's just a long way to go on that set of tires. I mean,
Yes.
you are what you've done in 2 runs, you're going to do on 1 run, unless this is a 3-stop race for tire purposes, and we just haven't really taken that into consideration. Not sure here.
Very possible. Nobody down pit road this time. Again, we're now down 5 drivers, with Michael Milfelt making an earlier exit, and then 4 drivers just disconnecting due to packet loss. I believe Kerry Cleaver is making his way back into the session, but nothing from the other 3. Wally Terheimer down pit road. He assumed a position in the top 5 after the misfortunes for Hamby and Kirk. Mick McGuire down pit road as well. I can tell you probably James Lehman and Justin Michael are excited for the pit stop here, if only to get away from one another.
Well, I'm not sure they'll be away from each other for too long.
No. Rod Minton pitting this time. Andrew Schulte is here. Truck length up to Lehman in second. Patrick Blundell pitting as well. And Matt Rodolasso. See if Lehman or Michael or Schulte make the move this time. Going long has worked out for Schulte. And obviously Justin Michael and James Lehman have taken note of that.
See different lines. Schultz is really trying different lines here. He tried a half a lane to a lane up through turns 3 and 4. Now goes a lane below Michael and Lehman in front of him in turns 1 and 2.
Shelly Mall in the chat cheering on Bandit Motorsports. And you know what? Bandit Motorsports looking pretty good right now. They've got the podium locked down. Working around Rod Lasso, getting his tires up to temp. Should pretty easily be able to hang with these three once we get about another lap in. And by hang with them, I mean completely blow their doors off here in a couple of turns. Justin Michael staying low. He is coming to pit.
When you're in the middle of a battle, sometimes very difficult to get off the racing surface down to pit road speed, but it looks like he does a good job.
So waiting pit stops now from the top 6. Or rather, make that the top 5. Lehman, Schultz, Slagle, Smith, and McRoberts. Of those who have pit already, Scott Patton has cycled out to the lead. Here is James Lehman now. The Schultz led across the line the last time by. Heath Smith down pit road as well. And Scott Patton with a pretty sizable advantage over Justin Michael, but again, pit several laps before.
Yeah, Patton was in 7 laps in front of Justin Michael. So Michael, when we get midway into this run, should be able to make that ground up pretty quickly. Schultz still out on the racetrack, but you mentioned on the first stop, came in quite a few laps later than Patton and Michael as well. So he's running about the same amount of laps, just in a different sequence. Rob Mitten, Charlie Widener have been down pit road for their second time and are now battling for the 7th position. Wally Turheimer not too far behind Widener either, so could end up being a 3-way battle.
Here comes the race leader. Schultz with a pretty aggressive entry, but below pit road speed. And Brad Slagle, I think pit last time, or is coming down pit road right now. Yes, he is down pit road. So, and Ryan McRoberts headed down pit road as well. So that takes care of that. Scott Patton will assume the lead by about 1.5 seconds over Justin Michael. As Patton is coming through the trial over here, Schultz is just coming off pit road. And James Lehman, another 1.5 seconds back from Michael to Lehman. Schultz are going to come out in the middle of Mitten, Widener, and Turnheimer here.
Probably not the best spot to come out. These three are going to be battling for positions, and Schultz is going to have to try to sneak his way through here.
Gap is definitely closing from Patton back to Michael. It's less than 1 second now. Patton again got awfully close there to turn 2, and he about halved the deficit just in the backstretch alone.
Schultz,
Patton, wow, mega loose there.
Schultz is making his way through traffic. He's gotten through Turheimer and Widener, now has Rod Mitten to contend with. But here You mentioned the lead.
Patton about had a tank slapper there into the turn 4 wall. And it's about to be all over here this time around. Justin Michael with ease. Back to the point. Appreciate Patton sticking to his guns. Trying the alternate strategy you mentioned. Got the lead the first time he came down the pits when he was running just inside the top 10. I think he pit from 9th. So took a big swing at it. Not saying it's not going to work, but it didn't work this time.
We mentioned Schulte came out behind Mitten, Widener, and Turheimer, and Schulte did not waste any time. He got through actually pretty easily. I was surprised.
He's got about 2 seconds to catch up to James Lehman, and Lehman is reeling in these top 2 again very quickly. And we'll see if James has similar troubles dispatching Justin Michael like he had last time. Or if, again, a couple of lap fresher tires are going to be the difference maker.
Lance Ackerson in the chat cheering on Wally. He's currently sitting in 7th, but not too far behind Widener. That would be a battle for 6th. There goes Lehman underneath the Patton.
And his sights are set on the race lead and what would be his first win of the season in the league that he helped revive. It would be a popular one. Lehman, this is as close as he's come to clearing Justin Michael. Michael fighting back. Really
Big
putting the
send.
squeeze there on the right rear quarter panel.
Yeah, it was a big send for Michael on the outside. Big send for both of them. Lehman just not quite able to clear. It was awfully close.
We'll have Ryan McRoberts ahead. We'll see how that influences the battle here.
Wow, and
These
this
two
is
are still side by side.
this is just like the last cycle as well. Lehman caught up to him and tried to pass on the bottom and just couldn't get it done.
And to your point about migrating to the middle and the top throughout the run, Lehman with the fresher tires, but Michael keeping him boxed in there on the bottom. All it's going to take is one bobble or one lift out of the turn to keep out of the wall, and James Lehman is gone, and maybe gone for good.
Wow, Michael really trying to squeeze Lehman down now. Lehman's bringing it all. He's giving it all he's got here.
They both are. They are doing a fantastic job dueling here for the final checkered flag of the season. The championship is all done and dusted. But Michael looking for another victory. Lehman looking for his first. With another pit stop left to go. Oh! Andrew Schulte pulling up on Scott Patton here and now will make the pass. That is a second and a half behind Lehman and Michael here, who have been side by side for the last 4 laps in a row.
And they've all looked nearly identical to each other.
So close. Just a foot from being cleared.
Lehman a little bit more of a nose out in front
He's
this
clear.
time.
Is he going to take it? May not have many more opportunities. At least tries to move Michael up the track, but it doesn't work.
Wow, this is an epic battle here.
Schultz at 2.5 tenths quicker than the top two. He is closing quick.
These two battling side by side is allowing Schultz to close in probably a lot more quickly than he would had they been running single file.
And lap traffic ahead as well. Not just that, lap traffic battling for positions, but now one of them is coming down pit road, so that should make things a little bit easier. You can always make McGuire.
Lehman not looking quite as strong the last couple of turns, being able to stick the bottom. Looks like he's having to lift a little bit.
Where he was the most comfortable was making the move from the outside down to the bottom. Having to stick it right down there on the white line for the last 6 or 7 laps probably have not done him any favors. But now maybe he can get a breather in and set up the move that he wants to make for the position he desperately wants. There it is, the peak to the outside. Michael's got him covered off, though. And a toe. That's Rodolasso.
Schultz is now within a second of James Lehman. So Schultz is on the march as well.
His advance is stalled just a bit. But still closing the gap.
Look at this move. Lehman way to the outside, trying to gain some momentum.
And
around the outside.
Michael did not have the smoothest 3 and 4 there. Lehman hits a big run here. Maybe now will set up the move, or maybe now in danger of getting up by the wall.
I like this shot from Lehman. Runs it a couple of times in succession to see if he can keep it moving. He's going to do it again here.
Pit stops underway for the majority of the field here. Well, maybe not a majority, but several drivers have pit the last couple of laps. Nobody from inside the top 5.
Different look for Lehman now, trying everything he can.
Touches the wall. Here's Schultz.
I think Lehman knows he's in trouble.
But he wasn't in trouble before. The touch of the wall there, and now Andrew Schultz up to second. Another driver. Schultz for sure coming away with some hardware this season, but he is yet to claim a checkered flag. Despite a relentless podium streak.
It would be a fitting end to a championship run to get your first win in the last race. But he is going to have to go through multi-time winner Justin Michael.
Much fresher tires, a lot less strained. Schultz may have Justin Michael's number here. But Michael's been putting up a hell of a fight all night. Michael right up against the wall.
Oh, Lehman to the wall. Doesn't lose too much ground there, but looked like a pretty decent shot.
Scott Patton is pitting. He was running in 4th. Wally Turheimer from 5th went down pit road a few laps ago.
Interesting. I wondered when we saw Patton come in really early twice if he might try to split it into 3 stops rather than just 2. That's exactly what happens here. Be interesting to see how far forward he can move. But all eyes are on the battle for the lead. Schultz has been able to pull near Justin Michael, but really hasn't had an opportunity to really take a shot at him.
"21 laps to go. Top 3 still nose to tail here. I just think Justin Michael has a force field around his truck. That's really what it is. James Lehman in. So he is going to try and get the jump on Michael. It's been the other way around this entire race. We'll see if Michael answers or if he is going to wait. Looks like he's staying low to come in this time.
Whoa!
Oh! Both overcooked it!
Schultz
saves it! No flags!
Wow.
Unbelievable. Now Schultz is going to be boxing out, quite literally, Justin Michael. I mean, that had disaster written all over it for both of them.
I don't know how Schultz kept that thing off the inside wall.
No.
That thing was so sideways.
Incredible. Schultz gets the jump. Somebody has finally passed Justin Michael, but on pit road nonetheless. And James Lehman is about to pass both of them.
Well, Patton must have had a problem on his pit stop here. Rod Mitten's gotten around him in the cycle. Rod Mitten also around Justin Michael here.
Yeah, Scott Patton is 2 seconds behind here. So
Mitten's actually looking for the lead here.
Yes,
well,
he
it
is.
would be the lead.
Don't forget, James Lehman is about halfway up the back straightaway from these two. About 0.8 of a second. Still waiting on pit stops from Smith, Slagle, and McRoberts before Lehman will assume the lead.
And Lehman got a nice little gap here.
But again, on 1 lap, older tires. And although it was an impressive pit entry for Schultz and Michael, I'm not so sure it was a very productive one in the grand scheme of things. But Schultz is still tracking down James Lehman for what will be the lead as soon as the top 3 hit the pit road. If they hit pit road. I would assume they would have to.
Here comes Heath Smith. Smith looked like he came in really hot there.
And Slagle and McRoberts have been the last 2 drivers in all 3 pit cycles here tonight, so you know what they're doing. And Slagle pitting this time. Here we go for what will be the lead. Schultz, Lehman, and Michael, but in a different order. It's now Schultz working over Lehman. And Michael sitting and watching. But Schultz not going to have any difficulties dispatching James Lehman, and maybe neither will Justin Michael.
Michael's going to have a look all the way to the front.
Michael trying for a 2-for-1 special into turn 1. Lehman maybe looking to fight back on the outside here. Lehman now pushing Schultz. Schultz clear, but for how much longer? $13 to go. This has been stellar racing at the front of the field all night long. Here's Michael with another look. The shoe is on the other foot. Schultz boxing in Michael. But the third car has never been in the mix this early in the run.
No, he hasn't, and that third car has played a role here. Has pushed Schultz on the outside a couple times down the backstretch, giving a little bit of help to the 81.
Schultz and Michael both had moments there in turn 4 with the apron. It's a good look for Michael. Lehman gonna take it 3 wide, maybe. It's gonna force Michael to alter his line. That's the other thing we haven't seen here is 3 wide. Schultz from first to third as Lehman and Michael are back side by side.
Oh, Schultz really chopped down trying to keep the momentum. Nearly contact with the 87.
And this is not what either of these two wanted to see. Justin Michael back out front in a position to defend. Schultz with a run. Is Michael going to shut the door? No, Schultz shuts the door on himself and pulls up right behind Michael again. Oh, but pushes his way. Uses an arrow push to open the bottom back up here down the front stretch.
Lehman with another big run here as well.
I mean, does it get much better than this?
If this doesn't get you excited for the next season as well, I don't know what does.
Lehman again chooses to go with Schultz here. Two drivers working together, looking for their first victory. Justin Michael, a multi-time winner here this season.
Schultz is going to try to protect the bottom. He's been protecting the top. We'll see if this works out a little bit better.
Clear and Michael's options a little bit limited. Now he's clear on Lehman. And back to the outside of Schultz. 'Scott Patton in 4th, Rod Mitten in 5th. They have quite a bit of gap to 6th on back. But the top three wide for the lead. This time it's Michael on the top, and he's going to fare a little bit better than Schultz did, but may still drop to the back here. Nobody clear. Now Schultz clear down. Six laps to go. I don't want it to end.
This is unbelievable stuff here from these three.
Here's a big run from Justin Michael. Used the side draft with great effect there, and now has the lead back.
Well, that's the thing we've seen previously in these battles. Oh, Schultz down below the white line. That's going to hurt.
A bit of a bobble, but Lehman there to help. Lap traffic ahead.
Schultz chose to protect the bottom there previously, but we had seen. Really what you want to protect is the top when we get about 20 laps in, and here we are 20 laps in, and Justin Michael is able to prevail on the top side.
Michael walked it up the track a bit in turn number 2. Schulte had a good run, but nowhere to go with it. We tried again. 4 to go.
Lap traffic coming into play as well. This will get dicey.
Lehman fading. That may not help Schulte. When it's been one-on-one, Justin Michael has been untouchable. And Schulte's main objective is already bagged. He's already the champion this season, but wants the checkered flag to boot. To have your cake and eat it too. What is he willing to do for it? Two laps to go. The Illinois green is waving. Maybe a bump.
Slagle is up above Schulte here. That's going to hurt the exit.
In true Max V fashion, it's going to come down to the final lap of the season. Who is going to take the final checkers? Schulte sneaks underneath. Tries to sneak a side draft in. If he can keep the bottom here, he might have the advantage through the tri-oval. The final dash to the checkers. Schulte, Michael, they touch again. Schulte at the line. Schulte by 7/1000ths of a second. And the season champion is finally a winner on the final lap. Schulte with the pass on Justin Michael. And that's having your cake and eating it too.
That was unbelievable. What a show put on by those three right there. And here's the big congratulations from teammate James Lehman, Andrew Schulte. What a drive here tonight. What a drive through the season. Captures the championship and finally gets that elusive checkered flag.
Matt Kenseth style. One win and in the final race. This is win number 1, but podium number 13 for Andrew Schulte. 13 out of 17 races, that will count towards the championship. That is ridiculous. You wonder how he got to be champion if this is his first win. Well, 13 podiums ought to tide you over there. And a well-deserved and long-awaited burnout.
And he's going to burn this one down until that engine blows. And it is well deserved.
TRD built him well here tonight. So they'll take the top 2. Schulte, I believe, the 7th different winner this season. And what a way to finish it out here in Maximum Velocity Racing League in 2023. One of the best finishes of the season. One of the best finishes in our season on turn 200 overall. Andrew Schulte by 7/1000ths of a second. Finally gets the checkered flag and the championship. Justin Michael will finish in second. I'm sure he's excited about the battle there at the end, but maybe wanted to win that one. We'll find out here momentarily. James Lehman rounds out the podium here. We talked to him a little bit earlier. We'll hopefully talk to him again here momentarily. Scott Patton, Ron Mitten, top 5. Then it is Wally Terheimer in 6th, Charlie Widener in 7th, Brad Slagle and Heath Smith on the lead lap down to 9th. Bill Paradise in 10th, Patrick Wendell on the debut P11 here tonight, Matt Rodolasso in 12th, Mick McGuire in 13th, Ryan McRoberts in 14th, and then it was the drivers that got hit with the mid-race packet loss. Kerry Cleaver, Will Kirk, Johnny Hamby, and Chris Foyles through to 18th, and Michael Milfelt with an early exit in 19th. And that is the final finishing order of the season here in 2023. We'll talk to 3, I'm sure, exhausted drivers. And we will start with your bronze medal placer here tonight, James Lehman, who we talked to start off the broadcast. And we're bringing him back up here tonight. That was a fantastic battle between all 3 of you and Scott as well here tonight. But wow. I mean, what a finish to that race. And you got to be a bit worn out. That's just your first race back in a while. And to be thrown right back into the fire like that, got to be pretty exhausting.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I broke a little bit of a sweat, a little bit. Just I came in here with the mindset of just to have fun, and that's exactly what I did. I had a great time tonight.
I was gonna say there doesn't seem like anything more fun than getting a race with Michael and Schultz up front, and be up contender for the lead all race long. Really, you didn't hardly leave the top 5 at all, save for the pit cycles there.
No. I did screw up my two first pit stops. I was not sending it hard enough entering pit, so I was losing time every time I come out. So that last time I sent it a little bit farther, and that's why I came out a little bit ahead of everybody else that time. So I was like, at least now I learned where my limit is at Las Vegas finally. So I'm happy with that.
Matt, what do you got?
Huge congratulations, on the P3, and yeah, what an epic battle there. You got just about every look on the racetrack tonight, all the way from the apron up to the wall. What did it seem like worked? I saw you kind of searching for lines there throughout the race. What do you think was working best for you there?
I say what was working best was probably running the middle lane once about 10 laps on the tires. Noticing that the middle lane entering 1 and 2 was a lot faster, and then it would help you, with the run down the back stretch and entering turn 3 just a little bit higher, and then once the other guys figured out how to do it, then it's just a matter of who gets the clean air pretty much. Once the tires start to heat up and you're wearing out the right front so quick, then it's just a matter of who gets it first.
Well, take a bow, partner. Well, way to go out on a high note here with a podium finish and battling for the lead all race long here. And your administrative efforts this season have been Herculean as well. So congratulations to you on the race, and congratulations for a successful season. I know you got people you want to thank here, so we'll leave you to it.
I want to thank everybody, pretty much everybody that raced here at Max Velocity Racing this season. You guys helped out bringing back this league. I want to thank Kerry a lot. I'm going to talk to Kerry later in the broadcast, but yeah, Kerry's the big guy. And then Justin for getting the Discord up and going, Scott with the paints and getting all the graphics done, and you guys over here at Turn 200 for putting this on for everybody. You guys doing an outstanding job, and you guys have gotten better and better as time went by. And I know for sure you guys broadcasting Max Velocity has brought you a lot of fan base too as well. So
well,
I'm looking forward.
They all got a treat here tonight.
Yeah, that was something, me and Justin, after that second pit stop, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to have fun. Pinch me down, I don't care, but I'm going to pinch you back. And we were just having a ball, and there's only a couple people in iRacing that I can feel comfortable doing that. And he's one of those guys. So, and this is one of those tracks where you can do it for a while and have a blast doing it and put a hell of a show. And I can't wait to go back and watch it.
Absolutely, partner. I'm sure we'll talk to you again after the broadcast here, but nice job here tonight. Go party hard here with a P3 finish.
Thank you.
We'll talk to your runner-up finisher now. Justin Michael came again out on the wrong side of a photo finish. I think that's the second or third time here this season. But regardless, a hard-fought podium, and I mean, one of the, if not the most entertaining race of the season. I'm sure you're a bit tuckered out after that one, but nice job here.
Yeah, I tell you, that was pretty fun. We were even saying while we were racing, said this better be making some good TV.
Oh, it did.
So yeah, it was a good, clean race. We really had fun, and just wish we were to finish just a little bit ahead of him, but it's okay. He deserves to win one since he won championship, so we'll give it to him.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I wasn't sure anybody was going to come close to you there because James caught you twice with a huge head of steam, and all of a sudden, you gave him the bottom and just protected from the middle, and you seemed almost untouchable. Maybe not literally, but that was quite the move.
I think this track was ruined with the trucks because it's pretty much flat out, and I don't like that. I like to actually drive it. So, but because this used to be my favorite track with the trucks, but not since they like this. But yeah, all you got to do is if you just have to protect the top. As soon as they get to the outside of you, they're gonna pass you or just hold you down there long enough till you destroy your tires, which is just what I did to them. It's just Andrew just got just a little bit burst of speed there and was able to get me.
I'll put you on the list of people that are looking forward to the oval refresh that is supposedly coming soon here, maybe in time for the 2024 season. Who knows?
I believe when I see it.
Yep. Matt, what do you got?
Congratulations on the P2. You kind of mentioned about, just trying to run that middle line and pinch him down, but Andrew right there at the end was able to get underneath you, and I had my line ready. He turned him just like Kyle Busch turned Earnhardt Jr., but it didn't have to come to that. He was actually able to do it clean. Did you expect that one?
Yeah, with both of those guys, I had no issues with or thinking that they were going to hit me or anything like that. They race just like me. They're hard and aggressive and very clean. So I had no worries on that.
Well, it's good to talk to you again. It feels like it's been a little while, but man, what a way to re-announce your presence at the front of the field here with just an outstanding race and a spectacular one to watch back. I think everybody's going to be thoroughly enthralled with the battle there. Really, the back half of the race between you three and Scott's was fantastic. So take a bow here from P2. Anybody want to shout out or thank here?
Just you guys. You guys always call a good race, and we're glad you're coming back next season to call the long season, as I call it. But it's going to be a long one, that's for sure. But Scott for painting the car, it's a truck. He always does a good job with that, and James for putting in the leg. So definitely appreciate him, even though I'm up there with him, but he still kind of runs the show. So we always appreciate him, and yeah, we'll see you guys next season. Hopefully, we can get a championship.
Sounds like a plan, partner. We're looking forward to it. But nice job here tonight and the P2 finish.
Thanks, guys.
Well, James has just re-entered the broadcast booth here. We were going to pull up Andrew Schultz, but are we reprioritizing here?
No.
All right. Well, we'll bring up your double winner here in true season finale NASCAR fashion. We've got a race winner and a champion, Andrew Schultz. The long-awaited checkered flag comes in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. 7 1,000s at the line, bumping and banging all the way down to the stripe. Nice job on the victory here tonight and on the championship as well. You knew you had the title from the drop of the green here tonight, but it's got to feel especially good to get the monkey off your back here ahead of next season.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we had plenty of top 5, top 10 podiums all season long. I didn't necessarily have to go out with a win. Obviously, it's awesome getting into victory lane. Obviously, for the first time this year. It's been a long, hard-fought season. I talked to Crowder before the race, and I think you were there. But sucks that he didn't race, just because the battle within the race for the championship would have been fun. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. Like earlier today and yesterday, just kind of thinking about it of what kind of strategy to run for today if he was going to be here. Like, should I just kind of take it easy, knowing that I needed somewhere around like a top 5, top 7 place to secure the championship. But yeah, I mean, it's good to be talking to you guys in victory lane. That's for sure.
I think I can't remember the exact number now, and I'm too lazy to count it again. But I think this is your 13th podium of the season, so we've got you up here in the booth quite a bit this season. Despite the fact this is the first victory, I mean, you just absolutely lit up the podium all season long. So this was expected here for for a while to get the checkered flag, and I mean, you and James and Scott and Justin, all throughout the race, all mixing it up. You especially were the last one, usually to pit out of the top 3 there at the end. You had to make those big Herculean charges up on fresh tires to close those gaps. Was it a bit nerve-wracking, even though you were watching the times come down, knowing how much ground you actually had to make up there?
Yeah, a little bit. I like being in those positions. I'd rather be on offense than on defense. I don't particularly like pitting like a lap or two early, trying to undercut, because then I always feel like I'm at a tire disadvantage, even if it's only one lap. There was a chance there where if Lehman and Justin would have just stayed in a line there, that I think they would have pulled away, and I wouldn't even have had a shot at it. But because they stayed battling for so long, I think maybe it was after the second pit stop, because they battled side by side for so long that it didn't allow them to break away. But I didn't have any help if they had stayed in a line. So I think I think we got a little bit lucky there, but we'll take a little bit of luck to help out sometimes.
Absolutely. Matt, what do you got here for the champ?
Well, I got a massive congratulations, and what a fitting way to end your championship season with getting the win here. Finally got the monkey off your back here at Las Vegas. You kind of mentioned Ashton not racing and wished that he would have, and you were a little bit nervous today. After you get word that he's not going to race, how does it change your mindset? Does it kind of take the weight off your shoulders so you can go out there and have more fun, or how did that affect you coming into the race?
Yeah, I'd say it was more fun. Not having to worry about it, knowing that it was secured, and especially there at the end with Justin and Lehman just swapping positions, 3 wide for the lead, and all that stuff. That if the points would have been tighter and Ashton in the race, that would have been way more nerve-wracking than what it was. And it was like you said, it was just fun there at the end and just having a good time. And however we wound up finishing there, it was just a blast battling with those guys.
Well, nice job tonight and this season. You're the champ. You're the race winner. You take as much time as you want. Thank whoever you want to thank.
Thanks, guys. Well, shout out to the Turn 200 crew. Love watching you guys broadcast. You guys have great chemistry with each other. I don't know how long you guys have been doing it, but by far, out of all the broadcasts that I've either been in or watched, it's probably the most favorite watching you guys. I was just watching the Venom series that you guys do. Earlier on, because I didn't have any races of ours to watch, so I was like, well, I'm just going to tune into a couple of these and see how these are going. And yeah, like I said, you guys do a great job. It's a blast going back, listening to what you guys have to say. And then even the other broadcasts that you guys do, it's fun watching those. I think you guys are on for the next season too, so super excited about that. Glad to see you guys are hired for that. Shout out to Patented Paints as always. We got a couple different Bandit Motorsports teammates that are rocking Patented Paints paint jobs and top-notch, high-quality work. Always love getting a paint job done by him. Thanks to James and all the other admins for reviving Max Velocity. it was the first league in iRacing that I joined. Golly, what would that would have been? It was like 7 or 8 years ago, I think. Yeah, so eight 8 years ago, and that's when I met Carrie, Wally, Chris, James, Justin. I don't remember if he was in that first season, but Cody. There were so many guys from that, and lasting friendships that have been going on since then. So glad to see this was back, and can't wait to run it again next season. And all the like I said, all the Bandit Motorsports teammates. I love racing with those guys. We always have a great time racing. Excited for the next season to come up, and as always, shout out to my wife and kids.
Absolutely. Shout out to the Sim Wives and the Sim Moms. Rhinoceros 23 in the chat says nice season. And you know what? I concur. It's a championship season for you. Some momentum into the long season in 2024, as Justin Michael called it. But go celebrate a championship. Go celebrate a race win here. Absolutely stellar fashion. And we'll hopefully be talking to you a lot more in 2024.
Thank you, sir. Oh, and one last shout out
Yes.
To Ashton Crowder. It was a great battle all season. He obviously was. He says he wasn't as consistent, but to knock out 10 wins or whatever he had, he was the class of the season. I think we just got lucky, but congrats to him on job well done on his season. And I think Justin got P3, so obviously that's job well done as well. Yeah, I think that's it.
All righty, partner. Congrats again on the championship.
Thank you, sir.
All right, James Lehman, welcome back for the third time here tonight. You have anything else you want to say? Anybody else you want to pull up into the booth here? We're celebrating a successful season here on air.
Yeah. So there's two people I want to bring up. First person I'm going to bring up is Mr. Brad Sagal himself. You there, Brad?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man. I wanted to congratulate you on being the driver of the year for here at Max Velocity Racing. None of the other admins, neither does Tom or Matt here, knows about this. This is something I decided to do over the last couple months, and looking at all the drivers that have raced here this season, you stuck out. You were here. You were one of the only 3 drivers that raced every race of the season. You were consistent, and you've also raced the most laps in this season here. So you'll be receiving a plaque in the mail with Driver of the Year of the 2023 truck season at Max Velocity Racing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's cool.
Well, nice. I agree. It was good to see you running inside the top 5, especially the back half of the season. It seemed like we were calling out your name more and more. I think you're going to walk away with a top 5 points finish as well. So, I mean, a great season for you here. How do you feel about your 2023 Max V season?
Honestly, I don't even think I should be this far up in the points. I think it just turns out to showing up. When you look at the top 10 at the for the incidents per race, I've got the second most. I've only been on this service for a year. Just fell under Chris Howell over there at Average Show Motorsports. Raced with him in another couple of leagues, and he was like, "Hey, come check out this league. You know, it's gonna be rough." He's like, "I'll be straight with you. You're not gonna be in the top 10. You might be mid pack if you're lucky." So I was like, "Well, it's the only way to get better. You know, go race with better people. So better drivers. It's how to get better." And I had a blast here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a great season for you. Especially, you could have fooled me being on the servers only for a year. So, I mean, yeah, this is quite the Shark Tank to get dropped in the middle of.
Yeah.
But nice job here this season. Anybody want to shout out or say hello to?
Average Joe Motorsports, you know, Chris Howell, that whole team over there. Thanks for them to bring me under their wing, give me all the tips and pointers they can. Thank you guys for the broadcast all season here. Thanks, James, and all the admins for putting this on. It was fun. I'll see if I can make it out to everything next season. That's a long season. I just gotta have a 28 race season, and it was rough. But well, I'd like to make it out to everything next season. We'll see how life goes.
Oh, we're looking forward to getting you back next season as much as possible anyway. But looking forward to it. Driver of the Year, Brad Slagle. Congratulations, and nice job here this season.
Thanks again.
All right. And who else we got here, James?
We're going to bring up Kerry Cleaver.
All right.
Kerry, you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I just wanted to bring you up here in the booth, and just talk about max velocity and how it all started originally, and then on your thoughts in this season and how you think of it's going now.
Well, I don't really exactly remember how it got started. I know I was just kind of fed up with other leagues and stuff, and so I just decided to start it. And at the time, I was making a lot of money, so I was paying out, and it worked great. But Sean was the main guy. Sean did everything. I just put up the money and made the decisions. And when Sean got to the point where he didn't want to do it no more, I just didn't have it in me to go out and try to find somebody else. And plus, I didn't feel like I could race and be objective about the race. So I never raced my own races.
Yeah, that's understandable. Sean Zulu was very in control of max velocity back in the day. He did an outstanding job. You guys did an
absolutely.
outstanding job.
He was the man. And then his life changed a little bit, and I get to talk to him once in a while. He's still around, but he had other things going on, and he didn't have the heart for it anymore. So I just closed it down.
Real life gets in the way sometimes of this, right?
Yep. We run it, I think it was 3 full seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 3 years.
So then, how does the call go to get the band back together here for 2023?
Well, we were all racing in another league, and some things happened there, and people just weren't happy about what had happened. And then James approached me and said, I'd like to start a league, and I'd like to use the name Max Velocity. And I was actually kind of flattered, that, and I wasn't never going to use it again. So I was all for it.
And then when the time comes around, you see the stacked fields that show up here week in and week out. I mean, you just got to be tickled to death with how the 2023 season went.
Oh, way exceeded my expectations. I got to admit, I didn't really think it was going to take off, and James has done an excellent job, and Justin and Scott, they've really pulled this thing together.
And then looking ahead to next season, are we excited about the long season, as Justin Michael called it?
It is what it is. That's the way I did it. But I raced like every other week, but I raced every track that NASCAR raced.
I am very excited for next season. I especially anytime you can sneak IRP onto the schedule, you've got my vote. No matter you could do 100 races in that stretch of time. I wouldn't care because we get to go to IRP once. But take a bow here. This was a season well executed by both of you and the entire admin team. I'm sure you got people that you want to say hello to here and thanks. So we'll leave you to it.
Well, like I said, I haven't really had a whole lot to do with it. I mean, they use some of the stuff that I had out there. I think maybe the Facebook page or something, but the website's no longer. I mean, I don't know if they could go get the name again or not. But really, like I say, James was definitely instrumental in getting the ball rolling, and I really, I gotta say, like I say, I really didn't think it was going to take off, but I was hopeful, and like I say, it far exceeded my expectations. They've done an awesome job.
Well, congrats to you, congrats to James, congrats to everybody. this was an awesome season. Very excited for the future of Maximum Velocity into 2024. Excited to be a part of it next year. But James, I'll turn it over to you, I guess.
One quick thing I'd like to say, just a shout out to all the drivers, because this ain't the first race we've went caution free.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row, actually, I think.
Mm.
That's mighty impressive.
Yeah, that's what definitely, like I say, a shout out to all the drivers. Thanks for showing up first and foremost, and thanks for being, putting on the show that you do without having a caution fest.
All right. Appreciate it, Kerry.
Absolutely. Thank you for the time, boss man. And we'll look forward to more chats down the road in 2024.
Sounds good, man. Thanks again for broadcasting too.
Absolutely. And James, tip of the hat to you as well. We've given you flowers a couple of times here tonight, but again, this is a fantastic season, and very excited to be back for next season. But man, what a way to finish it out here tonight.
Yeah, for Andrew to just win it in the like you said, in NASCAR fashion, winning the last race of the season. you couldn't have asked for a better finish. I mean, yeah, if Ashton was here, probably would put up a little bit more of a fight. But for him to just still go out and win it, means the world to me, especially to bring the trophy home to Bandit Motorsports, which will be released in the next couple days. I'm still waiting on it to be made. I've just been waiting on a name. So, but he's going to be getting himself a nice 3-foot trophy. So he's
nice.
Hope he enjoys it. But just the final shout outs that I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to let you guys close it out. Shout out to Justin, Scott, Heath Smith, and Johnny Hamby. Those are the other admins that help run this league. He's the deep pockets. He really helped out a lot. And like I said, Scott does a lot of the graphics and stuff and makes everything look good. And then Justin, he runs the Discord, and then I'm the guy that runs everything else. Facebook and getting out notes out. And then Johnny, he's one of the new admins that came on, and he's going to take some responsibility from all of us, especially from me. I only think I'm going to be able to run 1, maybe 2 races next year. And then I'll be going on a deployment again, and I'll miss the entire season next year, which sucks, but that's part of the Army life. You got to do when the duty calls, So, but I will be watching it from, I can't say where I'm going to be at yet, but I'll be in Europe for sure.
Well, all the best to you on your journey there, and thank you for everything that you do in and out of the sim. And yes, congrats on a season well run and well executed, and excited to have you as much as possible for next season as well.
I hear you on that. Y'all take care, Tom and Matt.
Alrighty, Matt. Anything you want to say to put a bow on this season?
Man, it was a great first season here, and a heck of a return season. I think everybody's said it well. It was a great return season for Maximum Velocity. It was run very well, and the drivers just did an absolute bang-up job, giving us some great stuff to watch week in and week out, and could not be more excited for the next season to come. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and very, very much looking forward to it. And shout out to James and all the other guys that had us in mind to do the broadcast for them to ask us to do it was very special, and we are very appreciative, and could not be more happy that we're going to be back.
Absolutely, and had several people pop in the chat here throughout the course of the night as well.
We certainly did. Shout out to a couple of our mainstays here on Thursday nights, Michelle Kirk and Martha Turheimer. Also, Matt Burkhart was in the chat, Shelly Mall, Lance Ackerson, Orion Osiris, and Havoc giving some shout outs here towards the end as well. Thank you guys for chatting with us and tuning in every week. And anybody else that is out there watching, we appreciate you. And we'll see you back on Thursdays in 2024. But we are not done, because we have more stuff coming up during the break as well.
Absolutely. Didn't get to talk to Scott Patton here tonight, but there's a chance we'll have a broadcast on Sunday night as well as a regular Sunday afternoon broadcast. Stay tuned to that. Best way to stay in the loop on that is to join our Discord server. It is down in the description. For sure, we will be broadcasting 2 fun races tomorrow night. Yes, and they will be the last 2 races to score points in the 2023 Turn 200 Championship. Those standings will be finalized after those races tomorrow, and the top 30, or rather, the top 27 drivers in points will get their invites after that. So fun races tomorrow night. Then Sunday afternoon, the Porsche Mission R Challenge. Their championship will be decided on Sunday as well. Again, possibly stream on Sunday night. More details to be determined. Monday, we are back with the Formula Super Series from Mount Panorama. On Tuesday, it's the Venom Truck Series and their endurance race on the calendar from Bristol. And Wednesday, the ASRL Sports Car Championship. It's the Matt and Matt Show that night from Lime Rock Park Classic Layout. And no more Thursdays until February. But we are very excited to get back to Max V action at Daytona. It'll be here before you know it. But take care of yourselves between now and then. We'll hope to see you on other streams between now and then. But we will definitely see you back in February. For everybody here at the Maximum Velocity Racing League, for the GOAT, the one and only, my partner in crime, Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we say so long from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where Andrew Schulte takes the win and takes the title.